Test 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2.
What up? What up? What up? What up?
You good to go?
Yep.
All right, cool. Here we go, man. DJ Mo Beatz, Scratchin The Surface podcast. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the city right now. My homie Rick Williams. I'm gonna actually do an intro before this, so it's kind of explaining more your background. So, for people who don't know. But man, let's just get into it. What exactly would you say your job title is?
I would say my job title is agency director for the Distinct Life, and kind of probably creative director as far as the brand and everything for Cream Blends.
Okay.
And I'll probably say I kind of wear the hat of creative director kind of with Ro for Burn Rubber as well.
Okay.
So
yeah, because I feel like you definitely have a lot of different aspects. Of course, like you're super heavy into photography, like the design, like all of that kind of stuff too.
I think what I found over the years is creative is really what it is. You know, at the end of the day, whether you're looking at a sneaker project that I've designed for Burn Rubber or the Distinct Life or Foot Locker, whatever it is, it's the common thread is I'm coming up with stories and I'm being a creative.
Okay.
And figuring out how to communicate those stories to the market or whoever our audience is.
So then how exactly did you jump into just the different stuff of working with brands and everything? How did that even start to happen?
I think just from owning Burn Rubber and going to different trade shows and
so it's like having
meeting people and just seeing. I'm the type of person, I'm a problem solver. So if I have, when God gives me one thing, I understand that that's a building block for the next thing. And it's my job to understand how to take that one thing that he gave me and fit it into the puzzle of my life or my business or whatever I'm working on.
Okay.
And I think those things build on each other, and that's how you get to where we are today.
Okay, so then with some of the collabs, how do you come up with some of the ideas and have it where everything is like, I'm trying to think how to really even explain, because like the last couple of joints that came out where it was the stuff with Foot Locker and the Puma stuff and then the Timberlands, like all of those ideas as far as like, okay, I'm gonna do this shoe like this, I'm gonna do this one like that, like where does...
So I think that where I start is I'm looking, I have stories that I'd like to tell.
Okay.
Like the New Balance this time, I called it the Owl, and it was just about Belle Isle paying homage to the good times that everybody's family has gone to Belle Isle for a family picnic or whatever, graduation picnic, whatever it is. Everyone goes there, and that was like a thing. So I think that was something I was trying to celebrate through that shoe. That's like what that fountain can kind of represent. I just tried to find something iconic from that area or from the aisle and try and commemorate that. So that's kind of what that was. I think everything is, the root of everything is a story. Yeah. Whether I'm trying to raise awareness of something from Detroit or just trying to get you to think about a concept. Just something that is, we're here to move the culture, and I think very granularly about my job and how I do that. And I think that's why our agency, we're gaining our footing and we're in the position that we're in is because of that.
Okay. So then when it comes to working with different brands and doing collabs and stuff like that, has there ever been, trying to think how to really word it, like along the way, were there like mistakes that you might have made when it came to collabs? And you're like, okay, now I know like not to do this or not to go that route. So
I think a big part of that for me is, I don't even know what year the first one was. My first collab was probably over 10 years ago.
Okay.
And since then I've learned something. I learned about the process. I understand it's different with each company, but I understand the process and communication and working with people. Really, that's what it is. We're all coming together. A collaboration is us coming together to tell a common story and to reach a common goal. So I think that as long as, oh, that's gonna kill us, isn't it?
Yeah, the
Hold on,
AC the
hold
AC
on.
just came on
That's
real
the
quick.
heat.
We gonna
1 second.
yeah, let's fix the heat so it's not but it is cold outside, so I mean I feel you. I'm gonna probably keep that in the podcast too. Real
All
deal.
Listen. All right, let me see. What was the?
So
what
you were
were we
like
at?
the one of the first collabs was like 10 years ago, and it's like
Yeah, and I
man,
think so. There's like a progression. I've learned something new. You know, everyone. You know, you get used to working with certain partners. Like working with this company might be this way. Working with this company is this way. But every time I'm learning things from working with both, and then I can even make suggestions like, well, what if I do this or if I send it this way? You know, just to kind of mitigate the amount of problems that we can have when we're developing product together.
Okay.
So I think that I learned through that process, and I also learned on the business side how, you know, where's the value for everyone?
Yeah.
What is my job? My job is to communicate to a specific group of people, come up with a concept that they understand and that makes sense to them, and tell it through the eyes of this product. And then I also have to communicate with the client, which is the brand, to make sure that they're understand. I'm trying to create a bridge between this group of people here and this brand and what they're trying to communicate.
So the I don't know if you necessarily say talent, or because it depends on if it's a collab where you're working with influencers or a collab where it's like a company and then you're helping them to put together a product that might be in Foot Locker. I guess.
Yeah, so it's we operate in both ways. So
Yeah.
it's like it could be something where I'm working with, like you and I decide we want to do some Beats by Dre headphones.
Okay.
And then we're like, yo, okay, this is what we want to do. This is why we want to do it. We want this portion of this money to go here to help this. And then we put that narrative together, and then we get out. So it's not just about the product. It's really about what you're trying to do and the greater goal that you have.
And like you said, to have a story so that it makes sense and it's not just like
nobody
oh,
wants
let
to
me get some
just
headphones.
buy something to just buy it.
Yeah, when it's a connection.
You know,
to
there's something, you know, when you buy one of my projects, you know Rick put a lot of thought and effort into this.
That's what made me ask, like, how you know, put together some of this stuff, because it's definitely well thought out and everything, like, makes sense. So
Well, I definitely feel like this is something that comes like easy to me. This is how I think. Just like DJing comes easy to you.
sure.
Like I've got behind Rose turntables before. And you wouldn't think that you would freeze up because it's not like I'm playing the music, but I'm playing
like
the
that
music.
moment. It's
and
like,
I'm
oh,
like,
shoot.
yo, and then you just freeze up and there's a dead space in the room. And it was my fault.
the awkward silence.
So that's what I mean. Like you probably never ever feel that because this is what you do. So when it comes to design and brand and creative direction, that's literally what God has blessed me with. That's how I think. That's why and you can see it through all of the things that I work on. So I think that's what, you know, that taste and all of that is kind of what puts me in the position that I'm in.
Okay. And then so another thing, any like tips when it comes to say if influencers want to work with a certain company, like are there any tips that you would say as far as when it goes to reaching out?
I think the best thing to do is just make sure that, and we talk about this all the time when we talk about your brand, but it's for anybody, you have to understand your own brand. What do you represent?
Yeah.
Chris, for sure, Mo Beatz for sure represents music.
Yeah, for sure.
And you represent health.
Yeah.
And fitness. And it's clear. Anyone that follows you knows.
Yeah.
So I think that to understand that, then if McDonald's or Wendy's comes to you like,
It's
yo,
like,
can you post this? It's like, bro, when you come to me, I'm gonna say, bro, you can't take that money.
Yeah.
All money's not good money. And it's like that, and not saying there's anything wrong with McDonald's or Wendy's. I don't care.
But it's just not personally.
It just doesn't work with your brand.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. And I think that understanding that for yourself and being aware of that is what's gonna make for a good partnership. You know, it's about having that real relationship, not just having followers and you have a product to push.
Yeah, because
Like,
I feel like people
see through that.
And I was just about to
All
say,
day.
I feel like people who
All
follow
day.
somebody, they can tell if this is on brand. Like,
Yep.
I don't ever
Or
see
if,
eating
or
Wendy's.
if, they see you naturally
Yeah.
when they know you're not thinking about it, right? If people who have been following you, like I've been following you before you were super, like workout guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So then, but it was so natural because you've never been like this big out of shape person.
Yeah.
So when people see it, it's like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Exactly.
But it's like you can tell when people manufacture a move.
Oh yeah, for sure. You can see it on IG.
You know what I'm
and
saying?
like,
Yeah, on IG you got people who are like, oh, you're in a, no one was bigging their wife up or their girl up until Jay-Z and them said, look, I'm sorry. And now everybody's bigging their wife up. But that's just naturally, like my wife is my business partner.
Yeah.
And I've, like, since day one, I've always represented her in that way. Before it was
So
the
it's no
cool
change.
thing to do.
Yeah.
But I think that your followers, regardless of what you think or what I think, they see through that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So it's the same thing, you know what I mean? Like, if you just got to make sure that it makes sense and it really fits together.
I think a lot of times for some influencers, it just seems like, oh, this company is coming with the check. Let me just
And
do
some
that.
people are in a financial position where it's that.
And that's when it's like,
But,
okay.
You know, you got to
what you
still,
gotta
like,
do.
you got to tell yourself, like, as long as you understand this is not on brand for me. And if you need it, I'd rather you do that than something illegal.
Yeah, true.
So just do that, but it's probably not the best thing for your career in the long run.
Okay. So then just back to some of the brand partnerships. What's some of the companies that you've done stuff with over the years? I know it's probably a long list. Some that you can think of off top.
I guess I've worked footwear-wise, I've worked with New Balance, Converse, Saucony.
I definitely would have said that wrong and said Saucony. That's
But look, and that's what I said my whole life. And somebody
Legit.
corrected me. So my thing is like, look, I don't have enough pairs to be worried about how to say this correctly.
Exactly.
So,
That's how you get them.
yeah. We worked with Reebok, of course. Reebok is, I love working with those guys, my friends at Puma. All of these brands have been such a pleasure to work with. I got a chance to work with Nike, but not on the product thing. It was that was part of a Foot Locker thing, and then I've also done just things with the local Nike store, like as far as capturing photography and things like that. I love what they're like, that community store. Like they really do try to have an initiative to go out and do something in the community, and I think that's commendable because I think a lot of people say that they do that, but that's not really happening.
Is that the store where they
downtown?
Okay,
the community store. Like literally, I've been there when I see the store manager, and they're doing, they're partnering with local nonprofits and they're doing things for the community.
Okay.
So that's something that I think is important too in any of our businesses.
Yeah.
Is to really try to give back. At our agency, we try to have conversations and classes and things. We had this money talk.
Yeah, I saw that recently.
And we're trying to do more and more things like that, and it's free for our community. We just, we want to try and find different ways to just continue to bring the information there. And it happened here at our agency. Like, we're trying to make this a place for people to come, grow, have conversations like this candidly.
And it's adding value, what I'm saying,
to the community.
People. Yeah, exactly, which is super important.
Yeah.
Man, so aside from the companies that you just mentioned that you already have worked with, are there any that you haven't worked with that you want to? Like any list?
I honestly think that it's not really necessarily about the brand. It's more like, honestly, it would be dope to partner with somebody like there's other footwear brands that I wouldn't mind working with just because I see the level of execution that they're they have the ability to achieve.
Okay.
And I would love to. It's just stuff that I haven't been able to do yet because it's just not possible in the situations that I've had. So I think there's some other footwear brands that I would like to rock with.
It's funny because I noticed you didn't necessarily say the brands because I know that mean you probably working like, all right, let me make sure I hit them up real quick. I see how you operate.
Definitely other ones, and you know, and it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff going on.
Okay.
Right now.
Yeah. All right, you got a little list over there. I know you're working on something.
Yeah, we have to.
So tell me a little bit about Cream Blends. Exactly.
So Cream Blends was my wife's brainchild. So Yolanda came up with this idea. She was working with one of her friends before she quit and just did all of this. And she went to her friend and she wanted to make soap. And then her friend, they just never got a chance to connect. And Yolanda goes on YouTube and then figures out how to make soap. And then while she was searching, I think she saw something about this body butter. So she starts experimenting, and our youngest son has eczema, but everybody talks about their child with eczema. But it's just the fact of the matter is shea butter is one of the most absorbative products. And our product is 80%. And most of the time when you see them in the stores, it's like 5 to 20% shea butter. So when you get it, that's why our product is superior to everyone else's, because of the way we make it and whatever. And I think that basically my wife, she came up with this idea, and we've been able to kind of develop it, create the branding. So that's kind of like my job. I do the package design, the brand, and we come together and just collaborate on everything. But she really manages the day-to-day of that. Okay. And, you know, but as everything's here. So we work on everything together. It's just, you know, she's the captain over there. I'm the captain here. She's the co-captain here. I'm the co over there. That's how everything works. You know what I mean? Yeah. God gave my wife to me. Like we found each other. And I believe it's because we're a team. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to go, we're on the court together. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like Jordan and Pippen. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it is with me and Yo.
That's real.
And not everybody can do that, and I understand that. But that's genuinely how we get down. And it's the best because you know, no matter if we sink or swim, we've been down before, so it doesn't matter. And we've been down together. So when it goes down, we're making all of these decisions together, and we've been able to have a life where we're done at 3 and go get our boys, and we spend the rest of the day with our children. Tight. So that they're able to have a quality of life. So it's like, our parents, we're definitely very busy, but we've made choices so that we can move around them so that they can still get the time. That's all we have is time. Yeah. So if we're not spending that time with our family and our loved ones, and if I'm not, the best thing I can do is, if anyone, especially in our community, is raise our children to be strong and to have our children make a difference and to think in the way that's gonna change the world. And that's what I'm doing. The business that we have is so that we can do bigger things, so that we can edify the community and grow the community, so that we're all stronger as individuals, so that we can come together and have economic power for ourselves. So we're not begging for things. Yeah,
that's definitely the vibe right there, as opposed to just being
doing it for yourself, spending your homeboys. Yeah, that's weak.
Man, I'm trying to see where to even jump from there. Like I said, I'm not even going off the notes right now. This is off the top. But let me see. So we said that starting with Cream Blends, companies. Man, just for Distinct Life, what do you feel like is next? What you working on?
I think a big thing that we're focusing on is just really honing in our services, whether that's event curation, or special event planning, or when we do content creation for people, whether that's graphic design, brand development. Those things is where that's our bread and butter. That's what we really, really do here. But above and beyond that is really trying to develop more programming so that we can actually do something that really can make a difference in the community. You know, getting people to understand their value and how you can, you know, if we can understand that we need, you know, 3 to 7 streams of income and understanding how to balance those. You know, not, you know, you hear people say, you know, I wanna be my own boss, or I don't want a job, or none of that. Like, to me, it's okay to have a job. Mm-hmm. But you should also understand how to generate your own income as well on the side.
True.
And make that a sustainable thing, not just something that you're doing when you get a chance. Like, literally commit yourself to building that stream of income. With all of your extra money, you invest that in that. So then now you have 2 streams of income. Then once those are sustained, then you invest in the next one until you build to that point where you're there. And then we don't have to talk about retirement or whatever, because now you have multiple streams and you're able to work them. And you have the community that is able to do their job as a part of that stream, and then they get to eat off of that stream as well, and then we all start sharing in that. That's how we win.
Yeah, we're definitely, we were just talking about that.
Yeah, that's how we win,
yeah.
bro. That's how we've won.
Yeah, legit.
That mixtape, I ate off of that because you were like, Rick, you do this well, you do this, and I'm gonna do this. We all play our roles. Here at our agency, I always use the analogy of we're a basketball team. I'm just a player coach. But everybody has a role. You know what I'm saying? You got the point guard can't be the power forward. Let him do him.
Yeah.
You get in your spot, or you're gonna leave a hole in the offense or the defense.
Everybody play their position.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's what I've kind of been trying to preach for a long time. But now it's like, that's what it is here. Everybody has to stay in their lane so we can all grow and fire on all cylinders.
Nice. Well, man, I'm not even sure how long we've been chopping it up, but
me either.
Yeah.
I feel like we on. You got to show me the edit, bro, because I hope I didn't act up.
No, for sure. I'll show you everything before I drop. But where can they find you on social media? What's all the handles?
First, I would like to tell everyone to follow Distinct Life.
Bam.
On Instagram and everywhere.
There it is.
Cream Blends.
There it is.
And then you can follow at Rick WLMS.
There it is. And
the lady who I was talking about, Yolanda.
Yeah, of course. Gotta throw
Yolanda WLMS is also, that's her Instagram as well.
Nice. Well, yeah, man, appreciate you.
Thank you, brother. I
on the
appreciate
podcast.
you, man.
This is one of the early episodes, getting everything rolling. And Scratchin The Surface podcast. Mo Beatz, Rick Williams.
Rick Jeezy.
We out.
Thank you, bro.
Easy.